afternoon, guys. We're going to do a little bit of work on the focus today. Now I've got a few faults of this, one of them being a knocking noise from the front, and I already know what it is. The air cons sometimes work and don't work, and I think I've got a little bit of an oil leak as well, so we're just going to check that out. Right, so we're going to start off with the knocking noise. Now I fitted some Hardrace drop links onto this about 7-8 months ago, and one of the bottom ball joints on this driver's side is absolutely shagged. Now when the suspension is drooped down like this, no matter how much you pull and tug at the roll bar, you can't air it. But once it's on a ramp with the weight on the car and you pull and tug on the passenger side, you can hear this driver's side knocking. So I'm just gonna whip them off. I've got a couple of new drop links, not Hardrace ones. I've gone for a good OE spec Len Ford, I think they are. So I'm gonna just get them fitted. Shouldn't take too long, and then I'm gonna have a look at this oil leak, give it a good old clean, and then just have a look in a couple of days time and see if there's where I can see it's coming from. I think it's coming from the oil cooler seals, but it could be coming from the turbo drain where it goes into the side of the block. Not really too sure, but I'll show you that later. And yeah, Colin, I'm just going to whack the machine on it, make sure it's got gas in. I think it's got gas in it. It starts off working, and then after about 2 or 3 miles it cuts out, and then sometimes if you give it a bootful, that'll then cut back in again. So I'm not sure if the compressor is starting to seize up or not, but we'll see if we can give that a check. Right, so what I'll do, first and foremost, I'll whip these front wheels off and make a start on getting these drop links repaired or replaced. Right, as you can see, I've got this side off. I'm going to have to take both sides off because these are 30mm shortened drop links. So I've got this one off and I just jammed it in a vise, and if you get it, don't know if you can hear that or not. But that's the knocking noise I'm getting. Hope that comes across on the camera. So what I want to do is I'm going to whip the other side off and get the other side changed and show you how that's done. Right, so this is the Hardrace drop link. 5mm Allen key in the middle, 17mm socket on the other side. The other side come out pretty easy because again they only fitted 7 or 8 months ago. So I'm just going to loosen them off with a spanner and an impact, and then I'll probably have to get an Allen key in the middle and just spin it off. Yeah, so that's come straight off. And then we'll just do the same on the other side. I can't get the impact gun in there, so I'm going to have to crack it off with a spanner. And hopefully whiz it out with the wrap shut. There we go. So off was the old nut. No, it's off. There we go. Let me just check these. I mean, that one feels quite stiff, just like the other top one. And this one feels quite stiff as well. But the other side one, this bottom ball joint, was so loose and floppy around. I'll get the other one and I'll show you. Right, let's zoom you out a little bit. So this one here is like really stiff, you can hardly move it. And this one, just so loose. So that one's absolutely knackered. So I'm going to put on a new set of length orders. Right, so these are length order ones. Come with new nuts, which is good. They're like a crushed nut, so that acts as a lock nut as well. If you want the part number, there you go. And they're both part numbers the same as either side. So we're just gonna whack these on. Probably have to move that down as well. Because as I say, the Hardrace ones were 30mm lower. You can see the difference there. 3 centimeters. Okay, stick that bracket back on. I've got a nut somewhere. Lost a nut already. Here it is. And just whiz these in. So that's done. Probably been a better idea to do it with a spanner and an Allen key bit, or even a socket on there, and then obviously go to undo, and that'll obviously then do the nut up. So the other side. I think this one I'm going to have to hold. So I'll show you the correct method I'm doing it, rather than just buzzing it in like a bloody lunatic. I'll get my spanner in there, that is. Go. So there's a 5mm Allen key in the middle, and these length order ones come with a 16mm nut, not a 17mm nut. Let me just tighten that a little bit more. There we go, so that's one side. I'll crack on and do the other side, and then we'll whack wheels back on and then have a look at this oil leak. Alright, so this is the oil leak that I've got. As I'm not too sure whether it's coming from the oil cooler seals to the sump gasket, which I think is just like RTV or silicone sealant or special Ford sealant, or from the, as you can probably see that there, the turbo drain return. Now it is a little bit higher than the sump, but it don't look like it's been dripping down there at all. So I think it might actually be the sump seal. because I don't think that'd be the oil cooler pipes, because if not, that won't be that high, I don't think, unless it's been spraying there. It says bloody caked all the boost pipes, all the subframe and stuff. So it looks like I've lost quite a bit of oil, so I better check the oil. I've got to do an oil and filter change at some point, but I might save that for when I sort this oil leak out. But I have got some spare oil I can just top up with, so I'm just gonna douse that with a little bit of brake cleaner like that. Get it all nice and clean. And I've got some compressed air, some at the workshop, and just dry it off. So I'll finish doing that, and then yeah, I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done, and then we're just going to run it for a couple of days and just see where it's been leaking from, really. Yeah, so let me get on and clean this up, and then I'll come back to you. Alright, there we go, that's all clean and dry, even up on that oil turbo return, all underneath, all around the sump, all around here, it's all nice and clean now. So I'm just going to start it up and just see if anything too obvious. If not, then we'll run it down the road for a couple of days and see what comes out of it. Alright, it's been running for a couple of minutes now. Nothing coming from that turbo drain pipe there. Nothing coming from the sump. And nothing coming from the oil cooler seals as yet. So like I said, I think I'm going to have to run it for a day or two and just see what happens and where it comes from. So I'm going to have to keep you updated for that. Another thing I've noticed is the radiator support is pretty much bloody rotten, and also my radiator hose has been rubbing against my boost hose. Again, that's because I'm running a large RS style intercooler, so I need to upgrade to the RS style radiator. So I might go for an air-take one anyway, just so that's nice and happy on the track and the temperatures are all cooled down. And if that is the problem with the oil cooler leaking, then I'll probably upgrade to an oil to air intercooler anyway. But yeah, I'll keep you posted on that at a later video. So the pump, the air compressor pump, is all clicking in and out. So that's my next job on the list, is to get the machine over and get that all hooked up to see what the aircon is doing, see how much gas is in there or isn't in there. Right, let's get it turned off and the vehicle back on the ground. Right, so I've got the aircon machine all hooked up. It's running, the pump is running. The pressures are all good. That's clicking in and out. So it's staying there at the minute. Just trying to figure out whether the pump is still running. It's nice and, well, coldish. So just watching these gauges, seeing what they're doing and see if it do anything funny. As I say, it starts off okay and then it just cuts out, it stops working. And then even if you start and stop it, that sometimes still doesn't cut back in, you know, even if you push the button on and off a few times or stop and start the engine, and it isn't until it like stays, you know, stationary for a few minutes that will cut back in. Or if you give it a bloody bootful down the road, sometimes that will cut back in again, but not always. So it's pretty much a weird one. So I think what I might do is just evac the whole system, just see how much gas I pull out of it. You know, it should hold about 600 grams, so 0.6 kilos. So yeah, I might just evaporate the whole system and just see if the gas is a little bit low or not, and then just recharge it and see what happens. So right, I'll let that keep doing its thing for a few minutes and then I'll revac it. Right, as you can see, the pressures are starting to rise. When you give it a rev, the low pressure comes down, which it should, and the high pressure goes up. Pump is still running, so it's still blowing nice cold air out the vents. As you see, 29 degrees today, and it's only going to get hotter. So I would really like an aircon system that don't give up the ghost after a couple of miles. As I say, I'm going to drain it down, see how much gas I get out of it, and then yeah, just do a service basically and see if that helps. If not, then I might replace the pressure switch, and again see if that helps. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll drain it down and we'll do a service on it and see how that affects it. Right, let's get on. Right, that's all charged up. That's all doing its business. It's been running now for about 5 minutes. Everything is still working nicely. Now, I pulled out 439 grams of gas, which I don't think that would cause a problem having that much gas in it. Sometimes if you run it low on gas, it won't then do its thing properly. But that's only like 160, 170 grams worth of gas less than what it should have. It should have 600 grams. I put in 620 because obviously you allow for the pipes as well, so it should have about 600 grams of gas in there once we do the evac of the pipes. So, but yeah, that's all running. I've got the thermometer in there at the minute. It's a nice cool 6.5 degrees at the vent, so almost fridge territory that is, so that should keep nice and cool. But it wasn't the case of that it wasn't cold enough. The problem is that it just automatically switches itself off every now and again, which isn't good. So yeah, we'll have to see how we get on with that. Again, I'll keep you updated on that. So, right, let's get this thing unwound. So we'll shut this off, open that up, and then that will suck all the gas out of the hose, out of the machine, and into the blue hose, and that should go down to about 2 bar on both gauges. Once it's hit about 2 bar, then we know. Right, I managed to disconnect myself from the recording. As I was saying, once it gets about 2 bar, we know the pressure is equal in the pipes, so that we can close all the valves off, and then we can evap whatever is out of the pipes back into the machine. Yeah, so I'll do that, and then the only thing I've got to do is check the oil level because of the oil leak. Top that up. I think I might have to top the water up. That's looking a bit low. Now I did notice when I was underneath there's a little bit of pink staining underneath my radiator, so I think the radiator might be on its way out anyway. But as I said before, that I want to replace that with an RS style radiator. So yeah, let me get all this done and sorted, and then I'll come back to you for the final conclusion. Right, so the conclusion then. We've done the drop links. Hopefully I secured my knocking noise. Won't know until we take it out down the road. Oil leak, a couple of suspected places, so we've cleaned that off and gave that a good look, but I think I'm going to need to run it for a couple of days and just see where it's leaking from. And the aircon, So as I say, pulled 439 grams out of it, stuck in 620, and there was 7 grams in the pipe, so it's got just over 600 grams in there at the minute. And at the minute it's working quite well at 6 degrees at the vent. So we're just going to have to see and find out what's occurring and see if it's fixed it. Have a look back on the oil leak, and also I've been in contact with Hardrace, and they've asked me to send over the link rods for inspection, obviously to warrant it, but they're normally quite good on warranty anyway, so they say. So we'll have to see about that. But yeah, I think that will do it for now for this car. So I'll keep you updated with the knocking noise and the aircon and the oil leak in the next video. I have got another video planned, which is the brakes. I've been running M-Tech discs and blue stuff pads on this now since, well, probably been a couple of years now. I'm going to have a look back on the photos of when I'd done them. Started off with M-Tech discs and Brembo OE pads, done a track day and lasted till about 2 o'clock on the track day, and the pads were down to metal and metal. So then I upgraded them to the blue stuff pads, and to be honest with you, I've been nothing but amazed with the brakes on this for road and track day use. So in the next video I've got some more M-Tech discs to put on it and some more blue stuff pads. So when we change them, I'll just give you my views on my setup and let you know what I think. So that's a little bit of an M-Tech / EBC review, a real world review. Probably 2 years of driving, 6 or 7 track days, and probably a good 15 to 20,000 miles. I'm gonna have to confirm that again with the MOTs and the timeline, but that's roughly what it's done. So that'll be a real world test on what I think is a reasonable good product for the price. So yeah, I'll leave it there for today, and hopefully you'll join me in the next ST video. So we'll see you then.
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer. I'll be back.